Assalamu alaikum, I am Joseph Caeiro and I will be the voice behind the microphone and the host for the podcast that is worthy of your precious time. So get out those beverages, get comfortable as you are seated, and as I take you on a journey of collaboration and partnership between a global giant and a very senior and historical national company. So we have in our midst two very enterprising leaders of their respective organizations. Our first guest, he's a star in his own standing as he featured in a recent issue of Khalij Times as part of a special supplement focusing on Japanese establishments in the United Arab Emirates. A man of few words, but very solid words, and each word is backed with a story. He is qualified to lead, knowledgeable to navigate business, and personified to use humor to make his point. A number 10 man in his own way, no resemblance to the Prime Minister of Great Britain, as he leads 10 strategic regions in the booming Middle Eastern region. Now, on assuming office as the MD of KME, he immediately decided to visit Pakistan as his first business trip. A true corporate chieftain, he is the man of the moment. In the West, he is known as Tom, and in the East, we with great reverence call him Hoga-san. So our very first guest, Tom Hoga, the Managing Director of Komatsu, Middle East. Thank you, Hoga-san, for your time, for your patience and understanding, for agreeing to come on to this podcast, and we are highly honored that you are there in our presence.
Thank you and Assalamu alaikum.
Our next guest surely complements our first guest, and you will get the feel of this as we go on in the podcast, so please hold on till the end. Now, our second guest, he too has a share of his fame because he also was recognized as one of the best performing chief executive officers of Pakistan. And this he did in very trying conditions to sail and lead his corporate ship through the COVID era and the aftermath and defy despondency with resilience. Now, he inherits the legacy of his illustrious father, and in an extensive network of the Jaffer family stands out as a strong bridge of loyalty, support, and cooperation for Komatsu in Pakistan. Only recently, now this is a fact that you need to know, only recently it was assumed that artificial intelligence has broken our great guest's record of recording minutes and shooting it out before even the meeting is over. But there will be certain corrections which he will do as I approach. So thank you very much, Farid Jaffer, the CEO of Jaffer Brothers, for taking out the time and being with us for this podcast.
Thank you very much, JC, for having me as well. And thank you very much for all this arrangement. As I said, one comment from my side about the artificial intelligence is I think by minute taking and issuance, it's always after the meeting, first of all. and the accuracy and the time is still probably a little better than AI, but they're catching up. They're catching up.
He's not accepting, so fine, we take it that way. And thank you once again. Gentlemen, it's an honor.
It's our pleasure as well.
Great CEOs of Asia. It's not a joke, but here they are with us. Let's bring our attention to Hoga-san. And Hoga-san, as per the records say, you've got 26 years of experience.
Right.
Your baseline career starting has been in Japan, 7 years in different Asian countries, 5 years in Northern America, and once your management said, you are now ready, they sent you as a managing director for Komatsu Middle East. So I'm not going to ask you how you reached here, but I'll ask you, why did you choose Komatsu to start your career?
Right. So, Komatsu is my first and at the moment last company that I'm working for. So when I entered Komatsu, that was 26 years ago. I was a university student, and I was looking for some company who is dealing with global customers like Pakistan. And also, when it comes to the product, I wanted to deal with something big. So that was my starting point.
Let's take it one level ahead, right? Because we have a lot of young people and young engineers in our audience today who are watching and hearing this podcast. Tell us something about Komatsu.
Okay, so Komatsu was established in 1921, so that was 104 years ago, and it originally started from the industrial machinery company, but it gradually expanded or shifted its product portfolio to the current construction and mining equipment. And while doing so, Komatsu also expanded its geographic footprint to almost all over the world. So that is what Komatsu is, and that is why our company is so exciting.
So, Hoga-san, your company is around 103 years old, and this would not have been possible if you did not have certain values to run your operations. So, do these values vary in your various regions?
So, of course, our strategies vary by the regions, but we have our, basic principles that is universally unchanged in any regions. So we call it the Komatsu way, and there are 7 principles in it. So
7 principles?
Yes.
All right.
Right. So taking a few as an example, so first is customer-centric, which is no-brainer. By any means, it is important. Also, another word is Gemba philosophy. So Gemba is obviously Japanese word, which stands for the actual workplace. So our thought process always starts from customers' actual workplace, which Komatsu's products are utilized. So that is our motto.
Thanks. So it will be quite beneficial for our viewers to go into the Komatsu website and get this information. Farid Jaffer.
Yes, sir.
How did you feel when you were entrusted with the task of leading Jaffer Brothers? I know you went through various stages of grooming, training, and of course the family brought you up. But when you were given this task, what was your first initial reaction and what went through your mind?
So JC, yeah, it's a great question. It's a journey, of course, and because it's a family business, I'm the 3rd generation in Pakistan, but when you look at the history of our company, we originally started in Pune and came here when the independence of the country happened. So I'm actually the 6th generation when you look from the beginning, right? Yep. So when I was born into this household, my father, Harun Jaffer, and my mother's Japanese, right? So my mother was more strict on educating me, making me go to school, while my father was like, what are you doing? You don't need to go to school. You come with me. You're 3 years old, 4 years old, come to the office. From that age, saying that the best place to learn is with me in the office. So that was sort of the family grooming that I had. So from the time I was born, people asked me this. They were like, oh, you're going to go abroad or maybe study abroad. What are you going to do when you graduate? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to go back to Pakistan. Brainer, because I always was told that I have to come back. So, it was sort of fancy words, destiny and all that. But so I always had that drive to come back. I came back in 2003, joined this company. Very fortunate. I always think that's very fortunate for me to have such a platform as well. I didn't, of course, start off as a CEO in the company. I started off as an assistant manager as well, and then went up the ranks. And then I think a couple of years ago, I became the CEO. And to be very honest, it's a huge responsibility, because it's something that you've been seeing, not only my father, but my elders, my cousins, like Nasir Jaffer, the chairman, he was the CEO. Hamid Jaffer, he was the CEO before me. So all those great people before me. And then, when I stepped into those shoes, I was like, oh my God, this is a huge responsibility. I'm actually, at that position now. But then, of course, then you have to also deliver, and you can only deliver with your team, and then the journey goes on. So it's not the end when you get there, you need to continue as well. So, yeah.
So, Farid, once you were designated as CEO, it's a lonely task up there. Yes. So, what strategy did you make? Because you were very young. We know that you were very young. You can tell us how old you were. And what did you think, what plan to, start?
So, yeah, so again, that's another great question, because I was designated the CEO a couple of years ago. But the thing is, I'm one of the shareholders of the company. So when I came back in 2003, although I was an assistant manager, I was also a shareholder, right? So I was a director on the board. So I was moving around as a director when I was like 22, 23 years old, going to our customers. And one funny story is we went to a customer with one of my salesmen, very enthusiastic and great salesman, took me to this customer saying that, our director is coming today, the family member, Farid Jaffer is coming. So we entered. And then the CEO of that company was like, okay, when is he coming? When is he coming? I was like, no, I'm here. It's him. So, I had those experiences. So yeah. I think with those experiences, and then experience only comes with time, right? Yeah. So, and with age. So I would like to think that, I've been groomed a little bit more over the last 20 years or so to finally be in this position. I'm still very young, absolutely, but I learned from great leaders like Hoga-san over here, yourself. Everyone's a leader, right? And you have to learn from everyone and take the good parts. You have to also acknowledge that you have shortcomings. So you have to keep on improving, which is actually, I just thought, it's one of the principles of Komatsu is, continuous improvement. So that applies to the machines, applies to humans, and, continuous improvement. And Japanese is Kaizen. So, these things are very important.
So I'm going to take that word Japanese and move on to the next question, right? You came on your seat. Now you've got to open your bag and see how many tools you have. So you had your graduation from the university in the US. You had a big family with leaders to back you up. But you also had a language.
Yes.
How important language was in your dealings?
So yes, again, it's a great question. So language. My mother's Japanese. My first language is actually Japanese. And in my household, I would speak Japanese with my mother, and I have an elder sister. And my father didn't know Japanese, of course. He tried to learn it, but it's a very difficult language, so I'm very fortunate I learned it in the household. And then he sent me to an international school where I learned English. And then, unfortunately or fortunately, Urdu is my third language, which I would like to think, you could say, if it's correct or not, has improved after I got married to my better half. She's from Pakistan. So coming back to your question, language is, of course, it's icebreaker, right? Yeah. You could be fluent, you could only know maybe 2-3 words, just say hello as well, but it breaks the ice. And then the next step is understanding the culture as well. We have a very big world, Japan, Pakistan, culturally, there's similarities, there's differences. So of course it helps that when you know the language, then you could connect, communicate, understand the standpoint, and then, also be like a bridge to be able to connect people and then also explain to the team members as well.
Yeah. So Farid, milestones. Yeah. In your little span as CEO, and of course, 2 milestones that you planned, you looked, you forecasted it, and you achieved. Just 2.
Particularly associated with Komatsu, I would go with that. Yeah. So this is, again, there's ups and downs in every person's life and journey. In a country like Pakistan, it's very volatile. So one milestone, which I've already told Hoga-san as well when I met him, I think one of the first times, is when I joined Jaffer Brothers, I actually wanted to be involved in the machinery business because of what you said, the communication. I speak Japanese, so I thought I could utilize my skills and also help my colleagues if I also assist in the Komatsu business, right? So that was in 2003, and Pakistan was going through a very tough time at that time because we did the nuclear testing in '99, there were economic sanctions. So, and then it just reopened. The market just reopened in 2001. And my first visit to Komatsu was, I think, in 2003. I was sat down by the then manager of Pakistan. And he's like, Farid, you sit down and look at this. I was like, okay. Do you see this graph? I was like, yeah, I see the graph. What do you see there? I see numbers. What number is it? 0. Do you know what this means? I was like, yeah, 0 sales. When it's 0 sales, what are you doing? So that's how my journey started with Komatsu. But then, of course, gradually, I think over the next 20 years, I'm very proud to say that various customers have entrusted us. It's the quality and the reliability of the machines, of course, with the product support, which you look after now. And not 100, I think we've sold thousands of machines into various national projects, national importance. Sorry, I'm like rambling on now. So one of the milestones is going from 0 to be able to achieve those numbers. And then to be the second milestone, which is interconnected, is to be able to be involved in such national projects that are making a difference to the community in Pakistan as well. So yeah, that's what it is.
Thanks, Faisal. Hoga-san, a little more about the machines that you produce at the Komatsu factory here or globally, just to give our viewers some sort of an idea, so that next time when they are at a construction site or a mining site and they see the brand Komatsu, it clicks. The podcast and both of you.
Right. So Komatsu is one of the leading equipment manufacturer for construction, mining, and forestry equipment with the full range of these products. So starting from very small utility excavator suitable for the gardening or home sewage, to the largest machines such as hauling trucks with 360 ton of payload or 1600 ton of operating weight of the rope shovel. So our strength is to be the full range product provider. So that is what Komatsu is.
So obviously when you came for your visit to Pakistan, there were a lot of reservations regarding security, whether you should come. But when I saw your email, it was just, yes, we are going. So what was in the back of your mind when you said, fine, we're going? Because at that time, it was difficult. And also, once you came and landed, what perceptions did you build up about Pakistan? The viewers would like to know that.
Right. So, I visited Pakistan, the places such as Karachi was my first destination, and Tarkor was the next one. I also visited Rekodik mining site, which is the far north west of Balochistan state, and Islamabad as well. So, my honest feeling is Pakistan has a variety. So, Karachi is a kind of industrial or economic, capital. Talkor is far southwest with much different, appearance and with, full of the natures with lots of greens. And on the other hand, the Rekodik site, it's literally a bare land. I know Rekodik stands for the sandy peak in the local language. It is literally a sandy peak. Nothing other than sand, which is beautiful because, over the scenery of the sand, we see beautiful mountains. So I think, and of course, underneath, there are minerals underneath, so which excites me as well as a business person. So, and lastly, this is my first visit to Islamabad. I landed here the day before yesterday, and yeah, Islamabad is a beautiful city. It has everything. Of course, it's the center of politics of the country, and while we have so organized city structure with full nature. So my impression in Pakistan is Pakistan has so many variety and different faces, all of which I love.
So taking from this point, another question is, what makes Pakistan an important market for Komatsu?
Right. So Pakistan is in the region we call strategic market. Because Pakistan is, in terms of the speed of the development or speed of the evolvement, it is much faster than other countries, and Pakistan has great potentiality with nearly 250 million of population with diligent and kind people like you guys, while having full range of minerals. So I think Pakistan has big potential with
big potential,
bright
you say.
future.
Yep.
Yeah,
Great.
and we are so happy to contribute to make this country such a prosperous country.
All right, so Farid-san, what Hoga-san just said regarding the potential, you've been dealing with so many customers, and I'm sure with every tender, every RFP, there's got to be 3 or 4 competitors. So what do you think is the cutting edge of Komatsu and the differentiating point for a customer to say, we want Jaffer, we want Komatsu?
So, it's a very good question, and it's very simple to answer this as well. Product quality, reliability. So first you start with that, right? The quality and the reliability of the machines are there. But you need to make sure the maintenance is there, right? Because the product support, after sales service, that philosophy has to be there, to be available for the customer 24/7. And Hoga-san was saying, Gemba. Gemba is the project side, the customer side. You have to be close or be there with the customer next to each other. So as and when there's a problem that they have, you are there at their doorsteps to fix it. Then there's other philosophies, the quality of the machines, of course, but then the improvements, continuous improvement, as I said earlier, Kaizen, you have to keep on improving by getting the data from the site, project site, the Gemba, incorporating that into the new machine specifications so that the productivity goes up, the machine efficiency goes up, the fuel efficiency goes up. Because what is the ultimate aim? Ultimate aim for all this is to satisfy the customer, of course. Productivity of the customer must be high, and then the cost efficiency has to come. So in the long run, the quality of the machines, the reliability of the machines, the product support, all the things I said will end up in a successful work site for the customer. So that's the differentiation from Komatsu and the competition, and then the product support that comes with their partners in the whole network.
So Farid-san, I was talking to Hoga-san just now regarding the values. Yeah. We also have our core values. So out of the 7 core values, which 2 would you connect straight away to Komatsu?
So Komatsu has 7 values. Fortunately, we also have strong values, core values. We have 6 of them. So, there's a lot of synergy. And I think that also translates into our historic relationship as well, because we've learned a lot from our partners. And for example, we were talking about continuous improvement, right? Quality and reliability. That goes with innovation. So innovation is one of our also core values that we abide by, because you need to continuously innovate. Another, I think, value that Komatsu has in this 7 values is to have strong partnerships, strong business partnerships with their global, network stakeholders. What do we have? We also have trust in our core values. Trust is there, and then in our principles, there's teamwork. So there's similar things. As I said, like you have to have the team, because you could work as an individual, you could work as a leader by yourself, but then by having a team, 1 + 1 doesn't become 2, it becomes maybe 3 or 5 or 10. So that's the philosophy we also have.
Yeah. So taking on that last point regarding teamwork, Hoga-san, what is your take on teamwork? Even though you may have the best product, you may have the best engineers, but still, Teamwork is important. So any message or any advice for our viewers regarding teamwork, because that's what we as a nation often lag. So we want to hear it from you.
Right. So, let me pick up one example that I am personally recently experiencing, so which is our mining customer, important mining customer in Tarkol. So we've been contributing to Tarkol project for I think almost 8 to 9 years. So we are so happy that our product is contributing to the power generation in that region, and but our product alone cannot contribute to their projects. It became possible with Jaffer Brothers, product support effort, and of course we are always doing the backup for your product support effort. So I think that is the very solid teamwork experience that we are having these days. And by this joint teamwork, we are making the Tarkol Block 2 pretty successful, and we are delighted to keep on contributing to their project in their new phases as well.
So Hoga-san, you mentioned mining. Obviously, you've seen the developments that have taken place in Tarkol. We are already working on another project. How do you see Komatsu's presence in Pakistan through your machinery and of course the backup and the product support and all other cooperation that is offered to you by Jaffer Brothers?
Right. So, our principles apply again. So, I already mentioned about the customer-centric mindset and also Gemba philosophy. So that always keeps ourselves closest to the customer's job site. So that will apply even more so to the mining customers, because mining customers cannot afford to the machine downs, cannot afford to the stoppage. So this philosophy will apply even more so to those mining customers, and that is again going to be possible together with our partnership and the teamwork.
Yeah. So viewers, you must have noticed that even though there's a relationship between a principal and a distributor, the views are the same. So the questions and the views that have been given are very similar, and they have a sense of ownership in the expression given by Farid and Hoga. So I won't repeat questions again, I'll take it on to the next. When you say mining, you think of the environment straight away. And I'm sure Komatsu has their compliances in which they would like the mining to take place. Farid-san himself, he's got a green thumb, as they say, very fond of arts, very fond of environment. So Farid-san, tell us something. When you went to Thar for the first time, you saw mining is taking place, but you were sharing that you were thinking of a lot of other things like the greenery, and also give the viewers something that they can also remember whenever they see a mining site or any site where there's no environment is not taken place, taken care of.
Yeah, so I think it's with mining, of course, there's a lot of environmental impact, right? But there's also a consciousness to make sure that impact is addressed, right? So, for example, if there's a mine site that's opened and once it finishes the life, then there's a conscious effort to fill it up and make it green again. The projects that you're talking about, that customer also took a very good initiative. I think they had a 1 million tree initiative. They made sure that they planted greenery as well. And I think that also translates into the products that Komatsu makes, because these machines are the ultra mining machines, for example. If you take it, they're giants. They're like as big as our office that we're on right now, 3 stories, 4 stories. But they operate on electricity, for example. They don't operate on diesel. Like these different changes, again, improvements are being brought to protect the environment. There's some hybrid machines, there's electric machines, so that's how it is the impact is sort of controlled or addressed?
Environment, and from environment we come to artificial intelligence. So Komatsu machines already have monitoring systems, but now we're going a step ahead. So Hoga-san, can you give a little teaser to our viewers as to what more is Komatsu bringing in? You don't need to disclose or give us all the secrets, but what should the customer and the various industrialists and minds expect in technological advancement in your product?
So our ultimate goal is to make every customer's job site the safest, the cleanest, and the most productive. That is our ultimate goal, and that is what we are always pursuing. So to realize this state, technically, autonomous is one of the stuff. Artificially intelligent, of course, is an important element. So lots of research and development and proof of concepts currently undertaken, and we are even more accelerating this momentum.
Yeah. So there is news about an expo that's going to take place in Osaka.
Right.
And you were sharing that some innovation. So would you like the viewers to hear about it as to what you're planning?
Right. Yeah. Thank you for asking. So Osaka Expo is going to commence on April 13th. So which means only a few days to go. So one of the core exhibition of us is one unique product which works under the water. So the base machine of that product is our bulldozer, but what makes it unique is it is fully waterproof and humanless operation. It is enabled by our advanced remote controlling system. So it will be a pretty unique exhibition. So I hope many of the viewers can have a chance to visit. And
So anyway, I'll leave it up to you. It's Osaka Expo, right?
Yes.
And around, yes, wait, sir.
I have a question, Hoga-san. So I've seen something that Komatsu was sort of showing, the moon. Is there some machine going to the moon as well for the expo? Not only on Earth, you're going abroad, overseas.
Right. So
space,
yeah. Thanks for your good question. So it is another challenge that Komatsu is undertaking. So Komatsu is participating in the project organized by JAXA, which is kind of Japanese version of NASA. So
Japanese version of
Japanese
NASA.
Version of
Fantastic.
NASA. Right. So in that project, one product under development is the machine operated on the surface of the machine. Of course, the base machine is our excavator. However, it has much more unique features. Example is since it has to operate on the zero gravity surface, it needs to have a larger contact with the ground. So for that purpose, this machine has two additional undercarriages, so that it has a much more larger ground contact. So it is just one of the example of the feature, but and the product development is underway with JAXA. So hopefully we can exhibit that machine in the next expo.
Great. So viewers, what we are looking at is very soon you'll be seeing Hoga-san saying, one small step of movement for the machine, but one large excavation on the moon by Komatsu. So let's hope, and it'll come from Hoga-san. Hoga-san, thank you for sharing all that with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, now let's move towards the future. Okay, future would mean as soon as we leave the room. That's the future. So, Farid-san, what is your vision right now? You're seeing a lot of developments that is happening. You've been involved. Hoga-san has been involved. So how do you see the future for, once again, Komatsu and Jaffer brothers?
So there's a bright future, and it's very exciting because we're entering into a new era. And before I go into the details of that, I want to go back and share some past and histories as well. And as I said, I think in one of the beginning question answer, that we've been very honored to be partnering Komatsu because the projects that Komatsu equipment is associated with in this country and globally as well are usually projects of national importance, right? So our relationship with Komatsu started back in the 1960s, and the first project that we were involved in is the Karakoram Highway. Now, Karakoram Highway is the highway, very treacherous, difficult highway that connects Pakistan to the Chinese border. Mm-hmm. And the height of that highway is 4,700 meters above sea level. So it's even higher than Mount Fuji, which is very famous in Japan. So you're going above that. So, we did motorways, highways, M1, Lahore, Islamabad, Islamabad, Peshawar we did as well. All the national motorways, Komatsu was involved. Komatsu was also involved in the agriculture sector, giving bulldozers under the Overseas Development Aid Program from Japan. They were donated basically to the country to level the land so that agriculture could take off in Pakistan. Thousands of machines came for that. Then dam projects. We have a lot of dam projects in the past, current, and I'm sure in the future as well, as hydropower is one of the areas that Pakistan is also very dependent on. And mining comes, right? So mechanized mining, Hoga-san touched on it, and THUR started in 2016, so it's 9 years ago. 9 years, it's flown by, right? And Komatsu's machines are working with this very prestigious customer over that. And now mining, from coal mining, mineral mining, that's coming up in Pakistan. There's a lot of focus by the government to invest as well as find overseas investors to come in. And the potential of Pakistan is so much that, there's resources that have been identified. Rekodik, as Hoga-san has said, he's visited, has the potential to become the fifth in the world. They have such resources. It's going to be a mine that's fifth largest in the world of copper and gold. So this is the future that's coming. Of course, for that future, it's again innovation, continuous improvement, because you cannot meet those targets or achieve those bigger projects by doing the same thing. So Komatsu and ourselves, we're in discussion. We're going to be also improving. We're going to be innovating, finding new ways to address the new requirements of the customer to address this new era that's coming in Pakistan. And it's, as I said, very exciting. Yeah.
Hoga-san, your expectations from Jaffer brothers?
What do you expect? You're putting him on the spot. Huh?
Yeah. What do you expect? Farid-san has given you his plans.
Negative things as well. Huh?
So, over these 2 years of my experience in this region, I know the strengths of Jaffa brothers, such as diligent teams and human resources and great leadership, and also the strong network inside out of this country. That is something we are missing, and that is something we strongly need so that Komatsu together with Jaffa brothers can contribute to this country. So that is my expectation.
Right. Thank you, Hoga-san. So, viewers, as you can see, we just heard two great leaders in their respective spheres express their feelings, their thoughts, and their plans for Pakistan. And that's what this podcast was all about. This may be the first, but it's not the last. And to close it in the best way possible, Hoga-san wants to give a special message to the people of Pakistan in our very lovable language, Urdu.
So मेरे हाउ दौरे के दौरान आपकी मेहमान नवाजी के लिए आपका शुक्रिया. So Komatsu आपके मुल्क में माइनिंग की तरक्की के लिए पूरा ताउन करेगा.
All right, so you gave a message. The nation is there to listen, but then we have people back in Japan as well. So, Farid sahab, it's time now to show your Japanese skill and address the people in Japan.
You're testing my Japanese,
Here we
huh?
go.
今日はご視聴ありがとうございます。パキスタンは今新しい時代の境に来ております。今後とも小松さんの手助け、サポートといろいろ学びながらパキスタンの事業を拡大していくと思いますので、今後ともお客様のサポートをできるように一生懸命頑張らせていただきますので、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Righto. Thank you. So, we come to the end of the podcast, but keep one thing in mind, that the sun always rises in the east and remains bright over our beloved Pakistan. So till then, till we meet again in the next podcast.
Thank you very much.